guys, so I'm coming on at the end of the day today. I didn't really vlog today because I had three or four large loads of laundry to do today, and it pretty much took up the entire day. And then after that, I had editing to do, and then I was starving because I hadn't eaten since breakfast. So I basically just had leftover Caesar salad and leftover nacho dip from the Christmas party yesterday. And I sat down and I watched Home Alone 1 and 2. Finally started on some Christmas movies. My plan was going to be to start dressing my American Girl dolls while I watched, but I was like exhausted and in pain from all of the laundry and everything else. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to be going to bed soon so I can hopefully get up earlier tomorrow and basically spend the day changing my American Girl dolls and maybe starting to get some of my reborns into Christmas pajamas for Christmas Eve, if I feel up to it, and just basically, while I do all that, watch Christmas movies, because I'm like, I haven't watched any Christmas movies so far this year, so that's my plan. I wasn't even really going to come on and vlog, but I wanted to come on and give you guys an update on my grandma. So, she's been home now for, I'd say, almost a month. She was in the hospital for a week and a half, and then she came home, and I don't know if things have changed in the last week or so, but from the time I saw, like, I spoke to her the week of my birthday, and I also saw my mom the week of my birthday. And at that point, she had not left her room at all since she got home. And it was kind of odd because the one thing, I had forgot to tell you guys about this story, but the one thing that she kept talking about when she was in the hospital was George. And George is another resident in her building, and he's blind. And ever since my grandma met him in the building, she's constantly helping him with stuff. So when they go down and have dinner in the dining room, she will help him eat and cut his food and all that because he can't see. And this is how my grandma is. She's always been this way. She is a very compassionate, loving woman and always wants to help people. Always, always. And she does whatever she can to help people. And I had wanted to mention that when she was in the hospital, and I gave you guys the update, and it slipped my mind. And I think the reason I really want to mention it is because I remember last year when I posted our Christmas vlog, and my mom and my grandma had come over for Christmas, and I posted, the video of that. And I would say, like, the majority of you guys were great. You loved the video. You thought my grandma was hilarious, and really enjoyed the video. But I had, I think, one or two people that said my grandma seemed really negative. And I just have to say, like, you clearly cannot judge from a video. You don't know her like I know her. And that's her type of humor. That's just her humor. And, as she's gotten older, she does get a little more blunt with people. Because, like, her philosophy is she just feels the older she gets, the less she gives a crap what people think. And she will speak her mind no matter what. She will not hold back. But if you really look at the video, you can tell, like, we're all laughing. She's laughing. It's her humor. She's very sarcastic. And but my grandma is a real gem, and she cares about people so much. A few years ago, I think it was actually the year that we first moved in here, which was back in 2008, she had a fall and severely broke her foot. And she was in the hospital for quite a while, and then from there they moved her to a rehab facility until she was better, until her foot was better. And so she was there for quite a few months before she went home. And the whole time that she was in this rehab facility, she would constantly dote on the other people that were in her room with her. Because it was, you know, it was like a ward room, I guess you could say, like where there was like probably 2 other people in the room with her. And so she would dote on them. Like, that's how she is. She always has to have someone to take care of. And we always used to say to her, like, why don't you volunteer at the hospital? Like, you're so good at that, and you're so good at, like, helping the people in the hospital and everything. And you can see the joy that it gives her to help people. And sometimes she's a little too helpful, because I know sometimes the people in her room, you know, sometimes wanted their space. But she would always be like, are you all right? Do you need anything? Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how she is. And anytime I've been in the hospital and, like, she's come to visit me, if there's other people in my room, she's the exact same way with them. She will go and help other people in the room. She'll chit-chat with them. My grandma loves to talk to everyone. She's a very social person. But anyways, she honestly is still not well. She's at least back home, but she hasn't felt like leaving her apartment at all, which is not like her. And she hasn't even felt like getting dressed, and that's not like her either, because she was one to always get dressed first thing in the morning, because she's like, well, you never know if you're going to have company show up at your door or something. Like, you should be dressed. Whereas my mom and I are PJ girls. Like, if we're at home, we're in PJs. And she would get mad at us. Like, if we went to stay with her and we didn't get dressed in the morning, she'd get mad at us. But yeah, she's, honestly, I feel like she's giving up at this point. I think, I don't know, she keeps saying to my mom and my uncle, which is my grandma's son, she keeps telling them that she does not think that she'll be around for her birthday. And her birthday is at the end of March. She thinks this is it. Like, she's not going to make it to her birthday. That's what she keeps saying. On top of that, for quite a few months now, she's been having trouble swallowing. And what's happening with that is, like, she'll be eating and all of a sudden she'll feel like it's stuck in her throat, and she'll start, like, choking, and to the point of, like, throwing it up. That's the only way she can get relief, is to throw it up. And so, you know, like, my grandma's always loved food, always loved sweets. She's always had a sweet tooth. And she's barely eating because of this. And because it's very uncomfortable and painful. So she had to have an endoscopy done. And she was saying, oh, well, if they find out that I have cancer or something like that, whatever. She had decided that if she ends up having cancer, she is not doing treatment or anything like that. She's like, I'm old enough, whatever, I'm done. So it's hard to hear her talking that way because my grandma's always been very energetic, very joyful, very, I don't know, it's hard to hear her talk like that, and it's hard to think about the fact that she might be getting close to the end of her life, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be yet. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. Thankfully, though, they did not find cancer, so that is good. They did not find cancer. They found out she has, I forget the exact name of it, but it's a certain type of hernia that can happen in the esophagus, that apparently is caused by acid reflux. So they've put her on acid reflux medication, and she's to avoid, I think it's like dairy and breads for a while, because that can cause acid reflux and that. And they're hoping it will get better over time. But what's weird is like, we like read up online about this condition, and nowhere did it list choking, on food or whatever as a symptom. So unless to her it feels like food is caught in her throat and she's going to choke on it, but maybe it's like acid reflux coming up. I don't know. But let's hope that the medication for that works. The other hard thing is, ever since she went into the hospital, we've all noticed that her memory has gotten extremely, extremely bad. I called her just after my birthday to thank her for the birthday card that she sent me, and to see how she's doing and everything. We were on the phone about, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. And in that amount of time, she repeated the same questions over and over. Like, she went between 3 questions, and she kept asking me the same 3 questions repetitively. Like, I literally had just answered one question, and then like 2 to 3 minutes later, she asked me the same thing. And she's never been like that. I mean, I know like over the last couple of years, we've noticed her memory is a little not so good, but not to this extent. And that really concerned me. Because it was really hard to hear her like that. And on top of it, she couldn't hear me properly. At first I thought it was maybe my cell phone cutting out, because it does that sometimes, but even when I like went to a different area of the house where usually like the connection comes in better, she still couldn't hear me. She kept saying, what, I can't hear you. Are you there? And like, I'd repeat myself. And so apparently when I told my mom about this, my mom said the same thing has happened with her when she's on the phone with my grandma. And so then I knew for sure it wasn't my cell phone. It was that my grandma isn't hearing properly. She had her hearing tested a few years ago and it came back fine, but I think she needs to get it redone. So it was really hard hearing her like that on the phone, because she's always been very sharp with her memories, with just conversations, and very witty, and just, it was really difficult to hear her in that state. It really bothered me, and I was concerned. So apparently, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we just found out that my grandma did go with my uncle this past week to have another memory test done, because she had a memory test done a couple of years ago to check for Alzheimer's, and they didn't find anything. So she went this time, and she completely failed the memory test, which we weren't surprised. But they don't think it's Alzheimer's. What they think is that it has to do with her oxygen levels dropping, because she hasn't been wearing her oxygen all the time. She was sent home from the hospital with instructions to wear oxygen 24/7. She hasn't been. When she was on the phone with me, she told me she was considering going downstairs that day, but if she did, she can't be bothered trying to like figure out how to switch the oxygen to like the portable oxygen. And so she's like, I'll just go down without it and I'll be fine. And then she had told my mom that the doctor had told her she didn't have to wear it 24/7. And my mom was like, no, I was there. The doctor said you have to wear it 24/7. So she hasn't been. And so when she went for the memory test, they tested her oxygen levels, and they were like in the 80s and the low 80s. And they need to be in the high 80s to low 90s. So my uncle's basically left strict instructions with the nurses in her building. They have a big sign up now at the nurses station about my grandma. They are going to talk to other residents in the building to say, if you ever see her without her oxygen, get on her about it. Basically, we're all going to be on her case about wearing her oxygen. And hopefully, if she starts wearing it 24/7, maybe we'll start to see an improvement in her memory. And I honestly was thinking it could be that, because I remember when my cousin Brittany was in the hospital the last few months of her life, and she had cystic fibrosis, which is a lung disease. Her oxygen levels were really, really low. And because of that, her things were fuzzy for her too. And a lot of times when we would go to visit her, she would be completely confused and out of it. And so I guess because the oxygen's not getting to the brain. So that's basically the update on my grandma. And yeah, it really sucks. So she still, as far as I know, does not want to leave her room, does not want to go out, which is why we won't be having her or my mom over here. We'll probably have my mom over here at some point when she's feeling better. But my grandma, we're just going to have to go to her to visit her. So it sucks. It really sucks. I've been dreading like this moment where, you know, things start to go downhill, like, because my grandma's like my second mom. So, okay, I'm going to stop because I don't want to get all emotional. But yeah, it's sad. Getting old sucks. It really does. But anyway, hopefully things will turn around. Hopefully things will get a bit better. And maybe we will still have, you know, time left with her, but no one knows. And she seems to be done. She seems to be over it all. So, yeah, I know. Anyways, all that, I'm just going to end on a positive note. So yeah, I watched Home Alone 1 and 2. I always start with those every year. And I pulled out my National Lampoon moose mug. It's so tiny though, like it barely holds any beverage. I just put like a little bit of Diet Coke in it. It's like 3 or 4 sips and it's gone. But it's just like the novelty of it. It's so funny. It's so funny. If you ever seen National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, they drink out of these. the uncle and Chevy Chase's character. So we have 2 of them. They came in a set of 2. Got them at the Christmas market a few years ago. So yeah, I thought I would pull it out just for fun. Try and get in the Christmas spirit despite all the crap going on. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you guys that update for today. And I quickly showed Alfie at the beginning of the video. And there is officially 2 days until Christmas now. Like, what? What? How? Seriously, I feel like this year has gone by in like the blink of an eye. It's so bizarre. My grandma always used to tell me growing up, like when I was a kid, she always used to tell me, yeah, she always used to tell me about how the older you get, the faster time goes. And I never really believed her as a kid, because when you're a kid, time goes really, really slow. And I never believed her. But now I do. Because I really truly feel like each and every year goes by faster and faster. Like, it feels like Christmas just ended and now it's here again. It's so weird. But yeah, anyways, sign off. Riley is sleeping over there and he's snoring. He's snoring away. He was sitting on my lap for most of the movie. And yeah, at least I got my laundry done. So now tomorrow can be like a more relaxing day. I can leisurely change my dolls while I watch movies. And Monday I was hoping to watch some movies during the day. But now it looks like we're actually going to my mother-in-law's earlier than I expected. I thought we were going to go there in the evening. But it looks like we're going there around like 1 p.m. now. So I'm kind of bummed about that. I was hoping we were going to go a little bit later so that I could get some more Christmas movies in. But maybe since we're going earlier, we'll leave earlier. So then I might be able to watch some like when we get back. I'm also thinking about going to check out this neighborhood. Like I've been trying to find neighborhoods where there's like Christmas lights to go look at, because I know I've seen like videos on YouTube like in different parts of the world where like a whole block will like set up, or a whole street or in a neighborhood will set up these elaborate light displays, and you can go, and they even have it like set to music where like you can turn your radio station to a certain station and it plays music to go with the lights and everything. But so I was looking online to see if we had anything like that near here, and the only thing I could come across was like individual houses. And it's like, well, I don't want us to like drive all that way just to see one house, even though they do look elaborate from the pictures. But I found one place that's called Kringlewood, and it's a street where every house has like giant Santas, basically like that giant Santa I showed you guys near my work. They have them all the way down the streets, and then it also looks like some of the houses have light displays on them as well. So I thought, I don't know, either tomorrow night or maybe like if we're coming back earlier in the evening on Christmas Eve, maybe we could like go and take a drive through there on the way home or something, because I think that would be kind of interesting to see. So we'll see though. I don't know. We'll have to just see timing and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Keep my grandma in your prayers, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.